Yeah, gotta start the broadcast with a cough. I've been sick. So, please let me know, by the way, anybody that sees this on the Reddit, if my sound is okay. Still pretty inexperienced with this, so I am figuring out the ins and outs of OBS. Alright. That said, let me get the broadcast link so I could share it in Reddit here for this poster. Let's see. Bear with me. There we go. Share it in Reddit here for this poster. Nope, I'm still blowing out. My mic's still blowing out. Let me fix it. Okay. I lowered my mic sensitivity a little bit. So let me know if this is better. Cool. I'm also still figuring out if I should do a unique stream or just kind of stream throughout the evening. Where is Reddit? I can internet. Alright. Alright. We've responded to poster. I'm gonna give them a second to see if they... Yeah, nobody give them a review. I'm gonna give them a second to see if they should sign up, show up here. And then let's load this. I'm gonna lower my mic sensitivity just one more notch. I don't like that my mic is blowing out. That's not fun. Okay. I know how to do things. Career profile, right? Import. I just played a few games. Okay. I just played a few games on... I'm still ranking up this season. I haven't actually played tank in 2 seasons, so... That said, I'm feeling really strong with Ramatra. I'm plat right now after about 15 games, 20 games this season. Hopefully we'll be back in Diamond shortly. I've heard that it is more challenging to level up now. Okay, who's our guy? Our guy is Distress, I think. Is our guy Distress?
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the pain.
He doesn't say that he plays... He would have said if he plays, Doomfist. What happens? Doomfist runs it down? Yeah, I want to see him being more aggressive. Doomfist just ran it down. I've seen this a couple of times today, actually. I've only reviewed one other video review, but I've been browsing the subreddit. I've seen tanks just holding payload when they're in a very advantageous position. I'd like to see him move forward here. Let's go back. Okay, I know how to use a computer. Let's go back. Watch this one more time. Doomfist runs it down. And to be fair, he's waiting to heal up here. But I don't like this positioning at all. There's no tank. Kill them. This is pretty passive tank play. I don't know if that was super great aim on that Ashe there. But yeah, now we're fighting for it. We're fighting for this point when we didn't need to be. I think we overextended a little bit there.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
But I don't mind that after. My big complaint is tank goes down and then we didn't do enough. And then I do think it seems like aim might need a little practice here. What I'm looking at is here. We missed a lot there. Luckily Tracer covered for us, but he does so much damage. And I would be curious about your mouse sensitivity. Something that took me a long time to learn in Overwatch is that look at how much this camera, 180 degrees, my mouse in the real world, which is hard to show, just moved about 12 inches. My guess is that if you're a tank main, you don't realize how important aim actually is. Yeah, it feels like we're missing a little bit in our poke. Okay. Let me roll back to what happens after you capture first point.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Who's other healer on your team and why is he letting you get so low so often? Did you get picked? He does get picked. Okay. I think there's an opportunity to peel for your team here. Baptiste is going to be your primary healer in this situation. Baptiste is a really interesting support in terms of, I don't know if you've heard about this notion of the primary support, but Baptiste is weird because unlike Akiriko, who's my support main, though I dabble in Baptiste, I can only speak to him generally. He can kind of be a primary or the secondary support. With Zenyatta, he's going to be your primary support. Feels like you lose track of him a little bit here. He's the one keeping you alive in this comp. You're a poke tank that forms into a brawl tank. Yeah. I think you lose track of him a little bit. I feel like Reaper is sort of like the primary threat in this situation. We're kind of distracted by Tracer, and Tracer's getting immense value from her hero doing that. That's exactly what Tracer wants to do. So I feel like that's a little bit on you, actually, that Baptiste. That ultimately on him. He needs to be aware, but I don't think we're responding to the audio cue fast enough. That our primary tank, I'm sorry, our primary healer or support is in trouble there. A lot of people kind of running it down for them so far. It makes it hard to review. You did say this is a loss, though. Am I reviewing the wrong tank?
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
I don't think so. He doesn't say that he plays Doomfist. Hold on, let me pause this real quick. Make sure I'm not an idiot. Distress. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, cool. He said it was a loss? It looks like they're running them over. It looks pretty low skill, honestly, what the other team is doing. They've just thrown their lives away like nothing. Yeah, I mean, they haven't had to make a play yet. Okay. What happens here? We get an ult explosion. Where's Reaper? There he is. Okay. Okay. This isn't entirely on you. Not by a long shot, but you guys are just cruising so much that it's hard to like address these like more tactical positional things. Like if this is actually an even sort of defense, generally you want to be heading toward high ground here. I think you could be aware of this Reaper ult a little bit better, but it's been a really kind of weird, ridiculously easy match so far. I don't mind you just sort of cruising in front of this payload personally, maybe a higher skill tank than, I don't know, whatever I am right now. Plat, whatever. Would say differently, but I don't mind this. This seems weird, though. Your Zen was smart. He held his ult for Reaper ult, and we lose nothing at all. You turn to engage. Does Reaper die for this? I mean, he looks like he's got to die for this, right? Okay, he raced out. I think you were slow to turn. What does that shield do for you? I feel like shield there is a little bit wasteful. Oh, you did block a dynamite, okay. Yeah. You respond slowly. Reaper should die for that. I'd turn, because if Reaper pulls this off, your team's going to wipe. He's going for your backline. I think my one critique that I'm seeing so far, that I feel fairly confident saying, is it seems like you are late to peel for your supports. Your Baptiste saves himself, and then Zenyatta doubles down on it. But I think Reaper should pay for this. And then it seems like with the late reaction time, you ult because you're like, oh, he should have paid for that. Problem is, everything has happened kind of a second late in this. It feels like an ult dump now.
Bob, do something.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like we all end there, kind of just because we felt like we had to. So, Reaper ults, I gotta ult because I have it. And then I gotta try to damage them because I have used my ult. I think there was a little bit of sunk cost fallacy going on, and what I mean by that is you simultaneously, I don't know if you draw it out or it looked like it happened at pretty much the same time. Their Baptiste drops window, and you're gonna die. You're gonna die very quickly. But you keep punching. His DPS is not nearly high enough to justify that play. His being Ramatra. Block, block, get out of there. You're dead. You're dead. You're not reacting to what they just. It doesn't seem like you're reacting to their cooldowns quickly enough, or at all. You didn't react at all that there's a window and a bob. You're dead. You gotta block and you gotta use cover here. You're just. I feel like that looked a little bit like you were hooked on the healing from earlier iterations of this game. You can't do that anymore. We need to take cover. And we need to use our block. We need to use our defensive cooldown. So, it's okay. You use your ultimate, but at least use it to get out. You might be able to escape that window if you stop punching. This is a loss. Yeah. Nope, nope, nope. You're way... Oh. I don't know. That was a real 50-50. I think you're staying a little bit too down Main Street, and it seems like you're just kind of like stat checking, meaning like, is my damage per second higher than his damage per second? I don't know. One of us is gonna die. Look, and this, now that this has stopped being like a complete stomp for them on defense, we can see what I'm talking about and what I suspect it was going to happen. This Tracer cares immensely about this high ground, right? I mean, she's kind of an Ashe counter, so she's coming for Ashe. Ashe has free reign over this whole fight. And this is what I reviewed earlier, too, when I did another video review of Ramattra. It seems like lower, mid to low rank tank mains have an issue, especially with Ramattra, who doesn't have verticality, using stairs effectively. This fight is not advantageous for you here. Now that doesn't mean you can't win it most of the time at low gold because the skills aren't as high. But if this is a diamond Ashe pocketed by a Kiriko, Baptiste is dead. He's already dead. And he's already dead, but he's trying to keep you alive. But the play is up here. So we've already committed to just moving the payload, right? I think that's something that happens with tanks a lot, is that they focus on how important the objective is, and of course that's true, but how do we actually earn the objective is that we get kills, we get picks. The important part of this whole arena is right here. And they have very, very strong control over it, except for Tracer. You're actually sort of exposing your primary healer, Baptiste, who I might even be like slightly... I mean, you guys were stomping, so I wouldn't be that frustrated if I was this Baptiste, but you've kind of hung him out to dry a little bit, and this is a good example of that. Like, he's not in a good position. He can be here supporting you to where he actually has cover. This is wide open, and he should die instantly, but you're not helping the cause. And then, so look at, like, how many... Ashe isn't even focused on you. But their whole team can instantly turn and shoot you in the head. You've got some cover from the truck. These have wide open shot on you. Baptiste, you're slowly ducking away behind the truck now that you're taking damage. He is losing line of sight on you, but basically the whole team can shoot you. You could die really fast in Season 9, even if you're Ramattra in Nemesis form, just because of the new damage passive. We get a little lucky on his stat checks there, but I want you peeking here.
I've got you in
And I'm not like a Grandmaster top 500 player yet. So you do ultimately do what you want to do. But personally, I would be trying to play this cover here in that situation. You guys win the fight anyway. Did we lose this fight? What just happened? No, no, no. Why? Why did we lose? Why did we lose this fight? How? I'm sure you're frustrated as this is happening too. Oh, my friend, because we need to change our mouse settings. You need to hit all of those. Ramattra's punch in Season 9 has a really big hitbox. I think you missed half or more of those punches. Like, missing one is acceptable. We're human, but this attack has a really large hitbox. Yeah, we missed a couple there. And then why did we die? What was the damage that killed us? Yeah, our DPS is too low against that Moira. Finally you did hit her, but she faded out. We can't let Ashe just aim down sights like that. And let's see what, when you're, it felt a little bit like we're tunnel visioning on Moira. What information do we have right now? Oh no 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 no! We saw blood. We missed a couple shots on Moira, and to be fair, she's a hard target to hit sometimes because of her mobility. So I'm not hating too hard on that. And you feel like we could kill her, but this Ashe has to die. I think we're not responding to audio cues enough. Happened earlier with Baptiste getting picked by Reaper. I feel like you're tunneling a little bit and you're missing other things that are happening around you. Moira fades and that's it. Somebody else is going to kill her. Like, you can't focus on the Moira. You know everybody on their team is back. Except their Orisa died. So we should be winning this. This Ashe is just allowed to kill your entire team. And it can't happen. It can't happen. And if I'm my support, I'm feeling a little mad at my tank right now. And I'm not flaming you right now, by the way. That's totally fine. That's why we're doing this. But she has to die. She's the target. Moira's faded. Yeah. Okay, so now this round should be over. Do we not push it? Big things I'm sort of summarizing in my head. The notes I'm kind of taking on your play on this so far are, I think we need to adjust our mouse sensitivity. It seems like we're missing a couple shots. It seems like you're just kind of like ooga booga stat checking a little bit sometimes. Like, I'm Ramatra, I'm invincible. Yeah. It happened again. Okay, so that's my big takeaways right now from watching you. We're doing a little bit of ooga booga stack checking, meaning not using cover quite enough, and tunnel visioning a little bit. Not using high ground is pretty much everything I think I could ever say to anybody that feels like they're stuck in gold or lower, is they're not using high ground. That's your responsibility really as the tank, is to set the position of the fight, and you get picked in the same way your Zenyatta had to save himself earlier with his ult, because this Reaper is just able to walk off the sledge and use his ult. And this fight, we're just ooga booga into this truck. I'm sorry. I hope that's not offensive. I'm just being silly. But we're kind of ooga booga Ramatra Nemesis into this truck because that's the objective. But really, the play needs to happen up here. Reaper gets a free ult because this high ground is uncontested. That's such an easy ult for him. Reaper is on the struggle bus in higher ranks and has been for a while because stuff like that isn't allowed at higher rank. It's really hard to get value from his ult because you shouldn't be allowing it. Let's see what happens. And then the other thing is, yeah, mouse sensitivity. I'd be curious. Seems like we're missing a little too many shots. And I don't actually think it's like your muscles not having enough experience. I think it's because your sensitivity is so high.
Into the iris.
The ult jumps are like mesmerizing when you go lower rank. It's just like, people hear ult, I have ult, I click ult. Okay, he was getting hit by that. Everybody hits ult button at the same time. Always. Seems like you took a little extra damage again here. Because we're punching a lot. Maybe we could afford to block a little bit as we get lower. Yeah. I think you're taking too much damage. I think the block there is actually appropriate. So I think there's a little bit of an over-aggression problem at times. That kind of I keep wrapping up as this Ooga Booga thing. I think when you're in Nemesis form, it feels like you're just like, we gotta kill. I think the defensive cooldown is the right play there, and I do think you are very, very lucky to not have paid for that with your life. Do you? Wow. Man, when you're in Nemesis form, you're punching those arms, and you're not always hitting them. You're missing too much with your punches, which have a huge hitbox now. So we got to look at that mouse sensitivity. And we're not using the defensive cooldown. The block's really key at keeping you alive. You were fine. You were fine if you held block here. Now your team looks like they're not going to get this. This isn't all on you, by the way. I mean, any number of players in this game could have made different plays to make this go differently. So don't feel like you lost your team the game or something. Like, it's just, there's stuff to improve on. Which I'm sure maybe I'll get myself reviewed by a top 500 player and look like an idiot. Yeah. Going down Main Street again. This is where we beat them. Here is where we stat check. We're stat checking down here. We're strategically beating them up here, if that makes sense. I hope that I'm being clear. Game over, round over, right? Yeah, we choked that a little bit. Collectively, not just you. Your whole team. They have to play behind this cover up here now. This whole thing's over if we're right here shooting that one right. And now you have to take the shortest path. You're just running at this thing, right? But it's over. You weren't able to defend it. I don't know if I'm able to look at stats at this point. That would be so helpful. Is that a thing I could do? I'm just curious. Okay, it's fine. I'd imagine your damage should probably be a little bit higher.
0-2. Switching sides.
Meaning, like, I think you probably missed 1,000 damage in shots here. That really, really punished you. That being said, perfect aim will compensate and hide strategical misplays. So the strategic misplays, regardless of your aim, which again I think is probably an easy thing to work on, is not taking this eye point, not using cover quite well enough, not listening to sound cues, and kind of peeling for your team and being aware of the teammates and the fights that are happening behind you. I'm very curious where you're about to take defense here. Very curious. Okay, good.
Attackers incoming.
Good, good. So it seems like it's just a consistency problem with the focusing on the high ground. Yep. I like that shield for sure. I'm fine with you dropping there. I think that makes some sense. It's really annoying to me. Like, this is on everybody. It's really annoying that it's just 5 people looking at 5 people. Like, we're at the point of, I think we're at the rank where everybody understands like the basics, right? But then you kind of like zoom out and see the application of it, and it's 5 people staring at 5 people. So I don't know that that's necessarily on you, but it's like frustrating, the lack of creativity. Like, no off-angling attempt really from your DPS. I don't know who your really, Kiriko is your primary healer. She's probably the one primarily responsible for you here. She's gonna die, isn't she? Wow. That's lucky. Okay. I want to roll it back and just see the moment you dropped. I want to see why we drop. It's not a bad play necessarily. I just want to see the nuance of it. That's pretty awkward. That's pretty awkward. I don't think I see what you're doing, kind of trying to get out in front of the payload, because I feel like you're falling for this time and time again in slightly different variations where it's like, oh, payload. We can still contest that payload where it is for another couple meters from right here. So this play put your support in danger and it put you in danger. You drop here, and this is a hard position to support. Your team's up there. Look at where Soldier is. You're down here, and look at how many people can take a shot at you. So it's the same. It's similar. That happened near the end of the last, the last round, where I think you're losing cover a little bit, mistiming aggression a little bit. I think just like honestly, just patient. Just be a little more patient. But she pays for it, so it worked. You kind of sucker punched her. You got low. Kiriko got low. Maybe it's brilliant. I don't know. Maybe it's brilliant. I think it's just a subtle misplay, rather than like, oh my god, you threw the game misplay. You're not doing anything here. You're not doing anything here. This is the consistency that I think we're seeing. Is something seeing it established enough throughout the game that it's like a very easy thing for you to work on. You're not doing anything here. Baptiste is going up here to try to get these last 2 picks, as he should, because he might stagger them. The problem again is Ramatra, is that you have to use stairs, and I see not a lot of lower Ramatra players in the day I've been doing this more specifically on YouTube. I don't see enough of them actually using stairs. Here we go. We use the stairs. We realize now. I actually think this is better, right? We might have been able to help Baptiste with that if that's our instinct. The tank gets picked. We get a couple picks. We come up here as fast as we can. I think your Kiriko's about to die, right? Am I an idiot? That's wrong, Kiriko. Turn around. Okay. Nothing. I didn't miss anything, no. Block, 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 block. That cooldown is so important to your character. You're not blocking. You're just face tanking damage when you have a really good defensive cooldown. That does a huge damage mitigation percentage, and you're just face tanking stuff. Look at this. Watch this. Let's look together at this as a silly thing to do. To emphasize that you need to stop Ooga Booga Nemesis form Ramatra right now. Let this be the day that this ends. Why are we punching through an Hanzo ult? Because we're in Nemesis forms, bro, and we're so look at our muscles. We have to punch. I get it, but we gotta cut that out. Who knows? Maybe your soldier dies because of it. Does your soldier die in part because you face tank all that damage? Where's soldier? I mean, he's just not using cover at all. He's standing down Broadway looking at Hanzo. So that'll be punished. But all of you are kind of to some degree standing down Broadway looking at damage. All of this play needs to happen here. You're just standing. You're just being tough guy. It all needs to happen here. Look at this. Let's go down there. Let's go down there. Let's go down there and let's go back 10 seconds. I wish the controls were a little bit finer. Maybe there's a setting for it. Okay. But anyway. You're realizing that you're standing in a Hanzo finally. Everything is a little bit slow here with these reacting to the enemy cooldowns. Okay, we take the cover. We take the cover. And now we have a choice. We go up here, which probably gives up the payload anyway. This hallway is too long. And I know this is really hard. This is all back to the level, and this takes hours and hours of gameplay to kind of to sort of map in your own brain. But the ult is over, and you need to use that window right now because your entire team is looking down Broadway at their entire team. You don't want to be in these stat checks because the reality is you're one of 5 people, and if your aim is flawless, which it's not, but that's okay. You don't do enough damage anyway with flawless aim, with robot aimbot aim. You still don't do enough damage, so we need to get out of here. Your shield needs to come up, and we need to get back here. And we need to try to save the day back here. Probably won't. We've lost our soldier. I think they've got more cooldowns than you do, though I, to be a hypocrite, haven't been tracking them. Yeah. It's an ult dump. And again, we're punching at 2 of the most powerful support ults instead of blocking.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Okay, your soldier's a goober. This is a more dangerous place for you to be. Granted, it's hard. It's hard to find stairs and get here in time. But you should have enough time, as Ramatra, to get high. I don't necessarily completely mind it if you're sort of split leveling the enemy team's vision, but you guys have completely lost this high ground. I have not seen enough from my team to trust that they're going to seize the high ground, and I personally am going to be trying to take this high ground. We're down here instead. And what happens? What happens here? Our playmaking potential is just really low as a team right here. It's hard to get picks here. You're just staring at each other, kind of poking, feeling each other out. First date vibes, and we're just punching again, like clockwork. Every time we're in Nemesis form, we're punching. I think you have a really solid idea underlying that, which is that Ramatra is amazing at pressuring the back line when he goes into his brawl format. He brawls, and he can get picks, right? I don't think you're hitting enough with those arms. You're just kind of flailing your arms at them. I don't think you're actually hitting enough, though that Kiriko being low suggests otherwise. Suggests you got really close. Let's see. And then you're definitely not blocking when you need to be. We're taking too much damage. We're just staring the whole team. The whole team can see us. Okay, we get Hanzo. So I'm a little bit of an ass. I still feel like it's a luck thing. Like, you easily could have died instead of the Hanzo. I think it just feels like you're coin flipping. You're Ooga Booga stat check. I'm stealing this from another streamer that I like that does reviews of League of Legends. He calls them Ooga Booga characters. And I think Ramatra has an Ooga Booga format that tricks people into being like, well, like, I'm just so strong now, I move forward. Orisa does that too. But League of Legends, I think it's like Renekton. It's ironic that their names are so similar. Renekton gets a lot of people Ooga Boogaing. Because he's just so strong, and his cooldowns are so strong, and he kills people. But we're taking too much damage. We took too much damage. You took too much damage standing there. Instead of here. You're here, right? And you want to be seeing one enemy that you really want to shoot. Who's the one guy you really want to kill, and you want to see him right here. And then when this space is no longer safe for you to occupy, and that's got to be a mental timer that you slowly refine, it's time to get out of dodge and reclaim this space. We get lost here. We're looking for the opportunity to pick that Hanzo, but you've already taken so much damage because you're just standing here looking at people. You're just looking at the whole team. And I think this is probably what you were talking about in your post, is having a hard time in Season 9. Season 9, you need to take cover, because your supports can no longer just heal you through this. Oh boy. I feel it, though. I feel this. I feel for Sprite. Kiriko's a nightmare. I play Soldier a lot. Excuse me. Yeah, it's over, right? We lose point. I don't have a lot to say. I've already said a lot on this defense that I think could help. So let's just keep going and see the end of the game. But I think you have a lot to practice moving forward from this. I'm done. Almost done. Give me 5 minutes. Oh boy. Woo! Yeah, Tracer, why are we going in monkey like that? You're not the only person that lost this game. Your team lost this game. You guys lost this as a team. And to be fair, it was a close game, so it's not like you didn't compete. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me give this a little more careful viewing. It's just the last opportunity to point this out. Look at how free all of the space, like, consider all of the space that is in here. Right? Not all of this is usable. I think there's probably an invisible hitbox up here somewhere that even Farah can't get up here. But look at how much space Reaper has. To just, like, have a party, man. Look at this. Reaper's like, I own everything. You don't own this. Reaper does. We lost the chance, man. We lost the chance to defend this where we needed to be defending this, which is here. Here. There's so much of this level that we're just not using. I think that's another thing that I've been seeing with sort of lower to mid metal ranked players, is that we're missing so much of this beautiful level design. I feel like they upgraded the textures or something too in Season 9. Like, everything looks really good. Use the stairs and get over here before this fight happens, and now we're on our back heels. Tracer already ran it down. Your Baptiste took a Hanzo headshot. But a huge part of that is because you guys are staring Hanzo down so much of the time. Why aren't you up here? Hanzo has a hard time shooting headshots when he's staring up 10 meters. It's over now, though, I think, right? They're going to get the picks that you guys weren't not able to get. Oh, Moira. I'm sorry. Moira is the one that takes the headshot. Yeah, I mean, this is like, look at it's a shooting gallery. It's a shooting gallery. We've given them a shooting gallery. I respect this hustle, though, to stay alive. Now, I feel like this desperation is really bringing out good cover usage here. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. We're doing it again, dude. We're doing it again. We're not respecting when they've used important cooldowns, and we're just like, we are Punch Man. We're Punch Man despite being a Kiriko ultimate. You gotta respect this ult, man. This ult is insane. And the same thing with Window. You did it in front of Window. You do it in front of this Kiriko Fox Kitsune. We gotta stop punching, and we gotta defend ourselves. We gotta defend our face, because we're the last line of defense here, and this game's ending. GG's. Alright. I mean, like, I don't, it's like easy to like criticize and like come across as overly negative, but I think there is like a lot of obvious skill and familiarity with the systems in the game. I think it's just refinement. I think it's refinement. I think it's utilizing high ground you're missing. I think it's, let's check the mouse sensitivity. And here, let me go into practice. Let me go into practice really quick with Ramatra and show you, can you do this? Can you do this? Let me slow, okay. Here we go. This is the sensitivity I want. I have a modifying mouse, and I use a different sensitivity when I'm reviewing, but okay.
You are finished.
Look at how my mouse just moved about 14 to 16 inches. I have a really large mouse pad, and you have to get used to it. My arm is whipping. I don't know if you can see it on the stream. My arm is literally whipping across. Maybe I need to change this, make it even a little bit, well, maybe a little more sensitive, so it doesn't become really hard to go the full 180. But the loss of precision that I might have in doing a really quick 180 turn, unless I'm battling Tracer, I really don't need that. Maybe I need 2 more inches of mouse pad or something. But look at the sensitivity. Here, let's turn 180. I want to see how many inches my... I'm pretty sure my mouse just moved 14 inches to move 180 degrees. So like, I'm like a maniac. Like, when I'm really into it, when I'm really competing. I suspect your misses with your aim are coming down to that. Let's get used to lowering our aim sensitivity. And then it becomes so much easier with the bigger hitboxes. It is so easy. I have so much nuance to track a tank. Like, I could like not 360 no scope. That's actually the hardest thing to do because of my sensitivity. But like, it feels like that. It feels like his arms, like you have to try to miss these shots. It is hard. Look at. I mean, look at that headshot. I'm not hitting the model. I don't even know if I'm actually close to that model. Those are headshots. So, it might be exacerbating a couple of things, Season 9, but I think you're pretty close. I think there's some small adjustments. Let me know if there's anything I could have done differently here, if my mic was okay, if everything else. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Take care, man. Have a good weekend.